Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another week of Real Talk About Feminism podcast.
We're so excited to be here.
Like always.
It is December.
It's December.
We are 1 month away from a new year.
2023. I keep
Absolutely
saying
insane.
that. I've said it like 5 times in the past 2 days. Like, we're almost in 2023.
I know. People really do say, like, as you get older, the years just fly by. And it's so true. Because I'm like, literally, like, even looking back, like 4 years in high school, like that flew by, even though it felt slow. And now, like, post high school, like, it is just flying by.
I know. I just keep thinking, like, next year it will like, I graduated 2019. So it's like, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. That's 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, what? I'll have been out of high school for 4 years?
Literally.
That's longer than I was in high school because I graduated early.
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird.
I know.
You've been out for 4 years
I graduated
already?
in 2018.
Yeah, so it's going to be 5 years.
Yeah.
Because you just graduated 1 year before me.
Yeah, and remember when you're younger, you're like, after high school, I'm going to have my life together. Like, college kids have their lives together. No. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no. But that's okay because it's the fun of it all and it's growing up.
Yeah, it just is funny, like, perspective-wise, looking back.
What you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I really did think, like, because also, growing up super religious, like, thinking by the time I'm 22, I'm gonna be married. I'm gonna have a kid.
Like, I almost had 4 kids.
Okay, no, not 4. But there are probably some people out there who are 22 and have 4 kids. Like,
maybe
that's insane. I have Gigi, and I can barely take care of him and myself.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, anyways, long tangent to say, time flies.
Basically, just still in shock. But we thought it would be fun. This is our lifestyle episode this month. And we thought it would be fun to just kind of recap our year and some of our favorite moments, because there were a lot of ups and downs for sure, and a lot of hard times that, like, I'm happy they happened. I'm sure you can relate. And I'm sure we've all had experiences like this where you're like, looking back, that was so hard. But, like, I made it through, and now look at what I'm accomplishing now.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of really good moments too. So we're just kind of like gonna talk about that with you guys and kind of share, like, some of our favorite memories from this year.
Yeah. First, we're gonna get into our obsessions and then the feminist highlight. You guys already know we do that every episode, and then we'll get into it.
My obsession this week is car detailing videos and rug cleaning videos.
I love.
Yeah.
I want to clean a rug.
No, literally. And, like, the ASMR ones are so satisfying.
Of them, like, scraping the rugs.
Yes, and, like, all the dirt, and, like, somehow magically, like, this is what I don't understand, is they'll clean the one side multiple times. They'll flip it. They'll clean the back once. Yeah. And then they'll keep flipping the rug. I'm like, how is it clean all of a sudden? You know what I mean? I'm like, it's just like a perpetual cycle of dirtiness, but somehow it works out.
They probably cut some out. Like,
they probably do.
But yeah, no, I love those videos. Like, I love cleaning videos, but especially the rug cleaning and car detailing, because they have that thing that, like, beats on the car, that, like, the carpet, and it beats up all the dirt. You know what I'm talking about?
It's so satisfying. Or, like, when they use, like, the steam thing.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm obsessed with it. When they, like, shine the seats, the leather seats. Oh my gosh.
That's so funny. Mine is along the same lines, and it is hoof cleaning videos, like, of horses or cows. I think it's mainly horses.
I've never seen a cow hoof cleaning
I just wanted to be inclusive of, like, all animals with hooves. But I think it's just horses. But, like, when they take the horseshoe off, it's definitely just horses. When they take the horseshoe off and they clean the hoof, they trim it, and they, like, get all the gunk out, and it's just so satisfying.
That's funny because I don't think it's satisfying. Like, I get the appeal.
I love it.
I really do. And, like, when you were explaining it to me and, like, showing me videos, I do understand.
It just draws me in. I love it. I love it.
I'm happy for the horse. I'm sure they feel so relieved.
Because it's like cutting nails.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. So those are our obsessions.
That's hilarious. That also reminds me, because you, like, took me on a deep dive through hoof cleaning. But today when you were explaining, like, a podcast and, like, all the hosts and, like, everything about their lives, like, it's we got on so many tangents.
We just go on tangents and go on deep dives of lots of stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, how did I not know this about you? Like, we talk all the time, and somehow this has never been brought up.
Guys, literally, there's, like, a bunch of TikToks going around that it's like when you live with your significant other, so you have nothing to talk about, and they're like out to eat, just silent, or like when you're constantly with your best friend, so you have nothing to talk about. That was literally me and Ken's. We went to a bar on like the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, and we literally were just standing there like, so
yeah, because it was just us, and it was like after my shift at work, so it was late, and like everyone was super social, and I'm sure like a lot of kids were back home, and so it was just funny because we were like,
yeah, we're like, we don't know what else to talk about.
How was your day?
I think at one point I said like when you have a podcast together, so you have nothing else to talk about.
When you live together and have a podcast together, so you have nothing else to talk about.
It's so funny.
Which is rare. Like we always find something to talk about.
Oh yeah, that's rare. We always do find something to talk about. But yeah, I don't know how you didn't know that about me. Like, I took her on a deep dive of the Plan Brie podcast, Plan Brie Uncut, with Brianna Chicken Fry from Barstool.
Who I like still, I don't really understand. Like, I didn't really know. I know what Barstool is, but like, I didn't know the ins and outs like you did.
I didn't either until probably like a year ago. So
that's a long time. I don't know.
I listened to 2 of the Barstool podcasts, but there's like a ton of like the big people in podcasts are either like Dear Media or Barstool. So I don't know, but if you guys listen to that podcast, then let me know because I want to fangirl and I want to like share clips and like talk about it with people, but nobody listens that I know of. And so I was telling Kent about it today so that she could listen to it and we could talk about it.
Yeah, and she was telling me about like this boxing match. Like, I was like, how do you know all this? And how have I never heard of it? I'm on social media all the time.
I know. It was so funny because I was like, how have I not told you about this?
I know. It's hilarious. So well, yeah, because like the conversation started as like, it was about like a body image episode. So it was like kind of like sentimental. And then you're like, oh, and then the rough and rowdy boxing match.
Yeah.
So funny.
It's so funny.
I'm going to go into the feminist highlight real quick.
Okay.
So today's highlight is Vanessa Nakate. She's a Ugandan climate activist, and she spoke alongside Greta Thunberg at the Youth for Climate event in Milan in 2021. In an interview with Angelina Jolie for Time magazine, Vanessa called out the whitewashing and white saviorism within the climate justice movement. And she said, every climate activist should be advocating for racial justice because if your climate justice does not involve the most affected communities, then it is not justice at all. In September 2022, she was named the UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. She's super passionate about how climate change is more than just statistics and measurements. It's about people, and she has a very personal connection to it because if I remember right, like Uganda's climate is very, very much struggling. And that's like part of the reason that like this climate activism journey was spurred for her. And she's quoted by saying, when it comes to the African continent, it is, of course, on the front lines of the climate crisis, but it's not on the front papers of the world's newspapers. And then the article that I'll link in the show notes that I got this information from and her quotes from, they said, Africa produces a very small fraction of the global greenhouse gas emissions, yet climate change threatens to expose up to 118 million of the poorest Africans to droughts, floods, and extreme heat by 2030. So that kind of put it into perspective, like how bad it is on the African continent. And she's right. Like, I don't think about the African continent when I hear climate change or climate crisis or anything. So she's just trying to raise awareness for like her home country and her home continent.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think a lot of times, like when we think about like climate change, we automatically associate it with Greta Thunberg. But there's a lot of activists,
so
like especially like younger youth activists, stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of overlooked people.
For
so
sure.
I'm glad that you highlighted her.
Yeah, and also like this article focused on the fact that she's not just a climate activist, she's a racial justice activist as well. So like the two go hand in hand. So she's speaking about both very important issues, but you know, she's using her platform for the best, and I think it's great.
Love it. Well, thank you. We were missing the feminist highlight.
Yeah. I'll be honest, kind of slacked last month, guys. Sorry.
I was not going to say anything, but I just thought it was funny.
It is kind of
we had some good episodes last month, so it's okay.
I feel like it kind of made up for it.
Yeah, we had some really good content last month, but I'm happy to have a feminist highlight back.
Yes, I think it's an important part of our podcast is like highlighting women who are doing good in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, we're going to transition. So, do you guys remember when we had Holly Warnick on? the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, we loved it.
Actually, you guys did like that episode.
Yeah, that was a really popular episode. It's like one of our top ranking. We talked about like so much with Holly, but she has her own podcast, and we went on her podcast. Whenever it drops, we're gonna share it.
I think it's soon.
Okay, yeah, I think it is soon. Whenever it drops, we'll share it on stories, and if it's dropped by now, we'll put it in the show notes just to link it. But her podcast is called The Hollywood Podcast. We went on there. We honestly had like a really good conversation.
Yeah, we both, when our meeting ended with her, we got off the recording and we were like, wow, that was really good. Yeah. And so one thing that we talked about a lot on her episode was what feminism means to us.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a really great conversation because we had her perspective as well. And it was cool because we were like stepping outside of our podcast and like getting out of our zone and like bringing it to a different audience.
Yeah.
And it's something that we haven't really talked about a lot on our show, actually, which is kind of funny. Like we've talked about it, like I think more in the beginning, like when we started. But it was cool. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, it was a really good conversation. So definitely, it was probably about like 30 minutes, like not too long.
Yeah.
So if it's out by now, we'll put it in the show notes. If not, then we'll just keep you guys posted on Instagram because it is great. And if you want to go check her out, her podcast is the Hollywood Podcast.
Yeah, I recommend going and listening to it. Obviously, like our episode as well with her, but she has a lot of other great episodes.
Yeah, and her episodes, like for the most part, they're like 20 minutes or less.
Yeah,
So it's just like a quick listen. I love it. I look forward to the days that they're released, and it's just really good. She has really good insights. It's like a podcast where you leave with something every time.
Yes,
and it's not something where you're like, okay, I need to do this better. It's like, oh, like I feel so enlightened.
Yeah, because she's relatable, she's real, and she's speaking from a lot of personal experiences from her life that has shaped who she is and like things that she has worked through and continues to work through that are like always changing with her identity, you know?
And they're super relatable.
Yeah, super relatable. So definitely go check it out. Thank you, Holly, for having us on.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
It's past Thanksgiving.
The turkey and the mashed potatoes and the cranberry sauce. Okay.
Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving, by the way.
Oh, yeah, by the way, we're thankful for you.
It was a good Thanksgiving. We had some family come in and had a good meal. I spilled my sparkling cider all over myself again.
That's the tradition. Oh, yeah, we have this tradition where everyone gets a Martinelli's bottle, like sparkling cider. An entire bottle. Yeah, everyone gets their own entire bottle, and we open it at Thanksgiving dinner, and then we, like, throughout the night, you just carry around your bottle and drink it out of the bottle. If it was alcoholic, we would just, like, literally look like alcoholics.
Literally.
But, yeah, you just drink out of the bottle the whole night until you're done with it, and that's your drink for the night. That's our tradition.
Yeah, it's so fun. I will be continuing that on.
Yeah, it's so funny. So yeah, we're thankful for you guys. Let's actually get into the meat and potatoes. Okay, so one of our first favorite moments was when we went to see Louis Tomlinson from One Direction with our youngest sibling, Quinn. And this is back to, okay, we have to figure out what episode that was.
Because, guys, this was when we literally got stuck in the time warp.
Yeah.
Because, I always forget where we were. The one on Colfax. Yeah, the Fillmore. This is when we got stuck in the time warp. So we did an episode where we talked about that. But besides that, it was a really fun night. And not that I had low expectations, but I was like, Louis was never my favorite.
I kind of,
like I'm a directioner and Louis was never my favorite.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it'll be fun. Like it'll be fun to go with Quinn, go somewhere new.
We like really dressed up cute.
We did. Yeah. I felt cute. And, now there's a few songs I really love by Louis.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
It was such a fun night. Yeah, it was hilarious, actually.
We had a lot of funny moments.
Yeah, we did. And it was just fun, like, overall. Like, we really, we did cute makeup looks. We had cute hair, cute outfits.
We took cute pictures.
Yeah, took cute pictures. We had to wait in a really long line, but, it was just so fun. And then, of course, we got good stories out of it with the time warp, which we'll put the link in the show notes because that was crazy.
That was absolutely terrifying.
If you guys weren't with us back then, because that was around, February, so probably we did that in March.
Away?
Yeah, I think it was in February. So we'll put that link in. You guys have to listen to it. It is the craziest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah.
It was scary.
We're haunted.
Yeah.
Along the line of concerts, we also saw Billie Eilish with
Mhm.
all 4 of us.
Yeah.
All 4 of us kids went to see Billie, and it was one of the best experiences of my
It
life.
was
Truly, like,
so
we still talk
good.
about it. We still listen to her set list. We were
Mhm.
just talking about it tonight.
I put her set list on in the car, the
Uh-huh.
playlist.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Literally life-changing.
Life-changing. It was so good. Like, we talk about every time we listen, we talk about when she jumped out of the
Oh
stage
my
at the
gosh.
beginning. She had the best entrance. She was so entertaining because, okay, that was one thing about Louis. He didn't really talk that much, which, like,
Mm-mm.
for some artists, that's fine. I'm like, yeah, I just want to
Yeah,
listen to your
just
music.
do the music, yeah.
But for Billie, we actually, like, we all left and we said, we feel like we met her.
Literally.
Because she was so personable, like, with the audience and just, like, talking and, like, it literally felt like, okay, I just met Billie Eilish.
Yeah, like, she was involving us, like, in her songs and stuff,
Mhm.
and some of the songs, like Your Power, like, she talked about, like, why she wrote
Yeah.
it and what it means to her, so it was a very good experience overall. Yeah.
It was so good.
And we got merch.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like, "I don't care if it's expensive. I will be buying it."
It was expensive merch.
Yeah.
But it was worth it because we still wear them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
This one is just for me because Haley didn't go, but, I went to Chicago.
And I hear about it all the time.
All the time.
No, I'm happy for you. I really am.
It was
That sounded so sarcastic.
I really am.
No,
I'm happy.
No. I'm actually happy for you. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was a fun trip for you guys.
No, it was so fun. Yeah, you still hear about it because we had such a good time.
I don't know why I didn't go.
Because remember, Kate, because
I
you
was
had gone to
watching
the
the
Grand
pets.
Canyon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we can talk about
yeah.
that next.
Okay.
But you were gone, and then you got back the day that we left,
Mhm.
and you had to pet sit. Well, yeah, you kind of just got pushed into that, but
You guys had left, like, that morning. Like, I could have No. They left the next day because I saw the family. We got back super late, and then you guys left the next morning. I
Mhm.
could have gone, but it was kind of like I just took a week off for work. Or I
Right.
just took a week off for the Grand Canyon, and we were camping. We road tripped. Like, I was like, I'm ready to just stay home.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good trip for me. I'm sure you don't follow me on TikTok, but I just kind of make like stupid videos, but I did that Eras trend. And out of nowhere, I put a picture of me in Chicago and I said contemplating divorce in Chicago era because I can laugh
Literally.
about it now. But like
I can laugh about it now.
it was like a pivotal moment for me. You know, like that's when I decided like, yeah, it's probably looking like this is gonna end up this way.
Yeah.
And like I had like mom and dad to talk to, and like I was in a new place and it was refreshing.
Yeah.
So it was a very interesting trip. But
Mhm.
I want to go back. We have to go back.
I'm glad that didn't, like, ruin the city for you because
It
you talk
didn't.
about it all the time and, like, you talk about wanting to go back. So I'm glad that didn't ruin the city for you.
It didn't at all. It was very eye opening.
It was,
actually.
yeah, it was probably like
Yeah.
good, better vibes there because you're like, okay, like I made this decision here.
Well, yeah, and like I was traveling, and so I was like, okay, I could like picture my life by myself, like without Jared.
Yeah.
So my ex-husband, sorry.
Oopsie.
Oops. I'm honestly like a lot of people know
Yeah, it's okay.
us. But anyway, it was just a very like good.
Yeah, and you're like surrounded by family and everything.
Yeah.
It always makes it easier.
Exactly. So we'll go at one point.
Fun.
Talk about the Grand Canyon.
I know that I talked about it on like one of the episodes, so I don't want to give too many details, but basically me and my best friend, we went camping in the Grand Canyon, just me and her by ourselves. I did all of the cooking. We built fires.
I did all of the cooking. You were mommy.
I was mommy. But like we built fires. We did the tent. Like we did the whole thing.
You guys rode horses.
We rode mules through the Grand Canyon. Just like we did everything. We went hiking and we did it all on our own. And it was just like the most empowering trip ever. And we decided that we're going to make it an annual thing so that even like when we're great grandparents, like everyone knows like, okay, it's time for like the annual camping trip with the family. Like we want to bring both of our families
that sounds
into
so fun.
it. And so like, I know like for sure if Sydney has a boyfriend, by like next April, May area, then we're gonna bring the boyfriends and go
That
camping.
sounds really fun.
If not, then it'll just be me and Sydney. But like we just talked about like having an annual camping trip and it's just being really fun.
Did you say you wanted it to be in the Grand Canyon every year?
No,
Oh, okay,
it's gonna be somewhere different every year. We're doing sand dunes this year.
Jealous.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
I'm excited.
Fun for you.
Yeah.
No, that's actually fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We also, this was a really fun day for our whole family, I think. But for Mother's Day, we did something new this year. and we drove up Pikes Peak, and none of us had been there before. Like, we lived in Colorado for who knows how long, and we'd never done the Pikes Peak thing. But we did that first, and then we just like hung out in Colorado Springs and Manitou Springs, and we like made like a charcuterie lunch and sat
We
in
were
the
in our white
park.
blanket era.
Yeah, we were in our white blanket area. And it was fun. Like, we just had a fun time as a family. And yeah, there's nothing else to say about it, I guess.
Yeah, it was fun. Another one was when we went to New York City.
Duh.
It was my first time, Ken's second time, but like the whole family's first time. And our parents are actually there right now as we're recording this for their anniversary. So they're like sending us pictures. They're seeing, like, at this very second,
Literally
they're
right
seeing
now.
Phantom of the Opera on Broadway, which is like what we grew up watching.
Yeah.
So I texted, like, they texted out, and I was like, little me is like screaming for you guys. Like,
Literally,
we were obsessed. Like, guys, this is so funny. I remember me and you, we literally used to talk about like who would get the Phantom of the Opera CD when Mom and Dad died.
Literally.
Like, we were like, who's gonna get it?
That was what we argued about.
Like, that was like the biggest deal. And we were talking about this recently, and Mom was like, the fact that you guys didn't think like we can just buy another CD, like a second CD for like $15.
It was such a dire situation.
CDs don't even work anymore. Like,
it's hilarious.
But it was so dramatic for no reason.
Or we'd like fight over who got to be Christine.
I feel like I always got to be Christine.
Was always Phantom.
Yeah, you were.
So
thank you, my Phantom.
One of my other favorite moments was my new hair slay era. I'm just like taking from my TikTok. But it was the first time I like colored my hair. I got highlights and stuff. I felt like such a baddie. And it was like, you know, pretty soon after I was like, not with Jarrett. Oh my gosh, why do I keep? Okay, I gotta not say that. It was pretty soon after I was not with my ex-husband anymore. And I was like, you know what? I need to do something new because I'm getting into like my healing era. That was like when we released Healing Girl Era.
Healing Girl Summer.
Healing Girl Summer.
Healing Girl Era.
Everything's an era.
Everything's an era now.
But honestly, it was like a pivotal moment. Like, I just felt so confident. I like look at pictures of myself when I was like not doing well, and I had like my drab long brown hair, and I just feel like I had a glow up, and that was the start of it.
Well, highlights like definitely make you feel so good.
Yeah, for sure. I thought you were gonna say they make you look so good. I was like, thank you.
Oh no, they do.
Yeah, thank you.
But like whenever I get highlights, like it's a confidence boost.
It really is.
It just like brightens you up, and like you feel brighter. You're like, oh, like if you get blonde highlights.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, because I was like, you know, in the dark for so long. So
and it, like, your hair, like, it still looks really good, but like it looked so good, and you'd never got it professionally dyed before. Like, you dyed it in high school.
Yeah, but I'd never
once, but like, that was it.
Yeah.
Did you just let that grow out? Or no, we dyed it back brown.
Did we dye it back?
Yeah, we did. I remember I did it. Yeah, I remember I did it for you.
Yeah, you were a real one for that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
But no, it did look really good.
Thank you.
I need to get mine redone, actually. I think I'm gonna get like highlights, because I haven't done it since probably March. And mine are actually, the way she did it, it grows.
I was gonna say, like, the way that you got it done, you can't tell that it's like grown out. It actually looks really good, because like
she did a balayage.
Oh, okay, because it's still light. Like, you still seem light.
Yeah,
but it's not like visible where you can tell your roots are coming in.
Yeah, I always got highlights, and then I had like the most experience level of colorist, and I didn't do that on purpose.
Big mistake.
But like, she charged me so much freaking money for it. Like, literally, I think I spent like $200 or like $230, and I'm like I think I was living at home at that point, but like I don't have like $230 to
it's
just
a lot,
drop, you know. And
that's how much mine was, and I had a level 2 stylist.
Well, I don't know, but basically, like, she was like, okay, like, she's like, I'm gonna like do this specific way, because I was like, I want it to grow out nice and not look like I have to move my highlights up. And the way she did it, I was like, okay, girl, you charged me a good amount, but I haven't gotten it done in months, and it's grown out really well. But I think like I like getting like platinum highlights. I know. So I think like in springtime, once we're done with winter, I'm gonna like get it done, and it'll feel really
You should
good.
Like get ready for summer.
Exactly. Because then when you get your hair done before summer too, then like you're in the sun more, so the sun will keep it light, and it's just like summer vibes. Like, this is winter vibes for me, and I think it's good.
Yeah. I think getting your hair done before summer anyway is a good
Mhm.
feeling. You
Yeah.
know, like cutting it or
Mhm.
dyeing it, doing something different.
Yeah. But yeah, no, your hair looks it still looks really good
Thank you.
after
I
getting
love
it
it.
done.
Yeah, I'm like, I never want to go back.
Mhm. It looks really natural.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my new hair slay era.
Another one another like favorite moment from 2022 was seeing Daddy Abel in
I knew you were gonna say
concert.
Daddy Abel.
No.
AKA The
Yeah, we
Weeknd.
saw The Weeknd and it was life-changing.
So we originally bought tickets to see Doja Cat, honestly, because she was opening for him.
Mhm.
Because like we liked The Weeknd, but like it was never something I was like, I would pay money to go see him.
Right. Because I just knew like Blinding Lights and
Yeah, all his top
Starboy and
hits.
yeah, that's it.
After seeing him, you guys, like literally our lives are changed.
Every time we listen, same thing as Billy. Every time we listen, we talk about every moment from the concert. We were listening in the car today, and I literally said, I would recommend everyone see The Weeknd at least once in their lifetime.
Literally, it's a truly life-changing experience.
It is so good.
And
He's amazing.
maybe it was just the vibes because like we had just moved and we were just like feeling good.
No, I think that was part of it, but also
it was
like
part of it.
The entire crowd was so lit.
True.
And it wasn't like rowdy where it was like there was annoying people. Like everyone was literally just so
vibing.
Happy.
It was so fun.
It was such a vibe.
And like he was such a good performer. I cannot get over like how he had our attention and it was just him on the stage.
Yeah, it was amazing. So that was a top moment.
We also, I just mentioned moving, but that was a big thing for us this year, moving downtown.
I feel like we've talked about it a lot.
Have we? I don't feel like we talk about it that much. But like that was a really great moment from this year. That was one of my favorite things.
Yeah. We love where we live. It's so fun living downtown and it feels like new adventures.
Driving in never gets old.
Yeah, it never gets old because the way we drive in, you just see the whole city. Like it's so pretty. So yeah, that is a top moment. Another one for me was turning 21. Just because it's fun now that I can go out and like have fun. It's also fun like being with the family on my birthday, but I don't know, I feel like turning 21 like that was a big thing because like we talked about in our airing out our dirty laundry episode, like, you know, we talked about like how, you know, organizations, we didn't feel like we could make certain decisions for a long time, but then like now that I am 21, I can actually go out and like make my own decisions and literally just have fun. So it's just a fun moment.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that you're 21.
I know.
We asked mom and dad, we were like, how does it feel to have 2 kids? Like over 21 now. Like, it was like, so weird.
I literally have imposter syndrome if I go to a bar. Like, I literally, like, I look around and I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I'm too young. I'm just, like, 18 or something. Like, that is, like, in my head what I think. But
That's
I'm like,
so funny.
No,
it's just
because
a confidence thing.
I don't know because I've, like, it's not like I'm, like, immature because I've always been more mature than my age. I think so because I, like, the experiences I've had in life. And so it's not like I'm, like, immature or anything and don't deserve, like, no, I feel like, oh, I don't know, I should be, like, going to a bar and ordering something, I'm like, I shouldn't be allowed to do this.
Yeah, it does feel weird.
It's
when
weird.
You first turn 21.
Yeah.
For sure. Or, like, when you, like, go into the liquor store and you're 21, you're like,
I think it's because also, like, I recently started drinking.
That's probably what it is, too.
And I never thought I would drink, so, like, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. My last one I was going to say was Halloween, and was that before you turned? Okay. But like, was that?
Don't expose me now.
That was still like one of the times one of the first times that we drank together.
No.
Are you sure?
We drank together for the first time in August.
No, it was September.
Okay.
But no, but like
we had all of September and all of October.
Okay, but you're making it sound like we drink all the time.
Okay, but we drink on weekends.
Yeah, I guess. But like going that hard together.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, Halloween was really fun.
It was fun.
And we looked so cute in our pink wigs. And that was our era for that week.
It was fun. As you guys saw, we were
As
wearing
you guys saw,
our wink wigs.
Our wink wigs. Literally, you guys, to this day, we still laugh about the fact that we wore our pink costumes because the day after Halloween, or the party we went to the first night of Halloween, we recorded our sexualization of breast cancer episode.
Mm-hmm.
And we literally were talking about how like the color pink like is kind of with like the pink washing theme of breast cancer and like adds into like the sexualization and
Basically,
stuff. And we were wearing like our entire pink outfits and our wigs.
And yeah, we wore them. Then we just like we really overdid it with the pink.
We really overdid
but it was fun. And yeah, that was our last moment we wanted to share with you guys. Overall, a very fun 2022. We hope that you guys could reflect on your year as we were talking about this, because you know, even if you feel like you didn't have the best year, there's always good moments to pull out. And I think it's good to reflect on your year and think about the good and bad, but it's also like it feels good for us because I know we've both been through hard things recently, but there's so many good things this year that we were able to pull out still. And we did have a really good year. So hopefully you guys can pull out some good things and get excited for 2023.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.